Aloha hoku ohana. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for your reading. This is about you guys going through a silent upgrade. So, trees do not announce their growth. Silence is its own transmission, okay? And you guys are definitely transmitting vibrationally upgrade energy. That's literally the vibe that it's giving me, and it's because you're not announcing this, where your silence is deafening, and it's your actions, right? It's also the energy that you're embodying that is speaking 1,000 words for you. Okay, so the energy is you guys accessing your full potential, and you're doing it through some type of deep internal exploration during this time. And the major message that was coming through is that, what was it? You're like the hermit right now, okay? So we have the hermit here at the base, following the North Star, where you guys have gone through some kind of major internal work, possibly behind the scenes, right? That nobody else has really, I'm hearing, taken stock of. And you're about to be emerging as this new version of yourself. And you've always gone through these different changes and these different cycles and these different phases. But the energy that was coming through is that what people used to identify you with, or a person that they used to identify you as, was only a shell of who you really are. And people are about to witness not a come up, but you coming back to something that was always there. And what was dormant was the fact that you were infinite potential. You have always been a highly abundant being, but you're coming back to that knowing. Okay, so it's not the come up, it's about the coming back to. That's what people are witnessing right now. And they're not sure what you're doing. They're not sure I'm hearing what it is that you're discovering, but what is evident, I'm hearing, is circumstantial. So you're kind of a mystery. You could be going again through like these dark night of the soul moments. You guys again are just really getting to know yourself on a deep level when it comes to how you can move forward completely congruent with your soul's initial intentions when first descending onto earth, and how you want to apply your infinite potential in this realm. And because of that, there's new doors of possibilities that are opening up for you, where you're entering into this major point of divergence, where you're entering into a new dimension where new stories can begin to play out. And dimensions are just frequencies. So you guys are entering into a new frequency from this light that you're holding, from this truth that you're holding in your being, from this knowing, from this level of consciousness that you're holding and anchoring into your being. And that's aligning you with new resonant experiences, okay? So you've never been this octave of yourself before. So you're about to experience things that you haven't experienced before. And other people are witnessing that, okay? So the energy that I was receiving was that you're like a secure tree right now. So when I talk about the secure tree, I'm talking about you. And it represents like untapped inner resources, okay, and also the potential for growth that you guys are going through. And to the outside world, it seems like a natural process for you, because they go through this ever-changing process for all of eternity. And it seems like you're going through a constant shedding process, where you're not even the person that you were yesterday. You know, you realize that all that has been is not all that will be, and it's not all that has to be, okay? It's like you're constantly rewriting your story. And I'm hearing, as you do that in the now, you also rewrite your history, where people look back and they try to again use a point of reference for where you used to be, and it's like you're no longer even close to that vibrational match. It's like you can look, and I'm hearing some of you don't even realize, because you keep setting these new levels for yourself, you don't realize how far it is that you've come already, until you look back for that reference point, for that monumental point. I'm literally seeing like a monument, and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, this was like what marked the moment in a historical timeline. And I'm hearing you're about to make another mark in history for your ancestors, okay, and also for those who are coming after. So yeah, like you've said goodbye to your old ways of navigating the world. And the tree represents this cosmic access point as well when it comes to the tree of life. And Shakura trees, they basically are evergreen, okay? They're everlasting for all of eternity. They never completely are bare of their leaves. And this is almost like your guys' infinite nature. It's like this is something that's ever present with you, and people could find your aura very healing. They could find your aura very cooling, because they always provide this constant shade throughout the year. So it's like this is something that you're definitely admired for, and we're gonna get into that, because by the way, this is like gonna be my second time recording this because I laid all the cards out and I recorded this on mute, which again is like your silence speaking 1,000 words, because I feel like I spoke 1,000 words in that reading, but it was silence, but the energy spoke volumes. And I feel like this is again something that you guys are doing, so it's all symbolic. But yeah, it reminds me of the quote of Carl Jung where he says, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." And you guys, again, lofty goals, heights, aspirations when it comes to the star card and your future, your internal wishes and desires being reciprocated in the external realm. I'm hearing are now becoming accessible to you because you've been able to grapple and confront the deepest challenges, fears, and negative aspects of yourself. And that's essentially touching the roots into hell, right? Before ascending into heaven, into this heavenly plane of existence. So get ready for a major contrast, get ready for a major polarity shift. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. It's like the access points are switching right now. And for a lot of you as well, with the roots of your being, I was seeing like the IC, which is your ancestral roots. It's the work that you guys have been doing behind the scenes. It's the first thing that you do when you're an adult, when you get home, like in your private life. So again, maybe you guys have been studying things. I'm hearing you've been in the books, you've been in the mud, right? You've been in the field, you've been doing some things within the morphic genetic field. You guys have been tuning into a lot energetically, and that's not going unnoticed, okay? Or at least it's not about to be, because right opposite that, you have the midhaven, which is about your public image, your reputation, your status, the way that people see you in the world, the way that you see yourself in the world. And whatever you've been doing behind the scenes is going to directly impact your legacy, the impact that you have on the world. I'm hearing the impact that you've been having on yourself is going to impact those around you, okay? So you're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and you're stepping forward with unshakable confidence out of this period of introspection, which is what the hermit goes through, so that he can really listen. You know, because when the hermit shows up, the high priestess has a message for you, right? And what we pulled in the starseed message is the high priestess. So how are you being called to step up and lead? It's like you guys knew that your soul was almost summoning you to come and learn more, right? It was like beaconing for you to safely come and learn more about your full potential. And it's a beautiful energy. And again, you also have transmissions with star bathing. So it's like, again, you're bathing in this truth, you're bathing in your own infinite potential during this time, and you're receiving transmissions from your higher self. And because of that, certain activations are taking place for you where you're anchoring in this information so that you can act upon that in the third dimension and alter your future timelines in the now, right? So yeah, it's a super interesting energy. So the roots of your being are firmly anchored down at the into the world. And yeah, change is not just happening to you, it's happening through you, and the change that's happening through you is directly bleeding into your reality, okay? So you're going to see that take place in very tangible ways, I'm happy to say. So after each storm, you guys have recognized your power, you move forward with unshakable confidence, and you're really a force to be reckoned with during this time. And secure trees as well, they are able to withstand like fires and many other kinds of decay. What's going on? I don't know why. I'm not sad, but like my eyes are tearing a little bit. Who's cutting onions? Yeah, it's like maybe you're feeling things and you don't necessarily know why, but whatever's coming to the surface is for you to purge and release as well. And they can also resist insects very effectively, okay, without much human interference. Secure trees are able to you know, step into the world with this different kind of responsibility. Okay, I'm hearing like spiritual responsibility, where they pay attention to what's important, right? So your soul has come here for growth through rapid contrast, okay, for you to have rapid expansion. And you're not focusing on the trivial things, the pesky day-to-day matters. It's like your human condition is lifting, and you're seeing this reality from a completely different veil during this time, and you're looking at life literally through the eyes of the soul, through the eyes of the oracle, and you're seeing the part that others play into your story that we call life. Okay, let me just put this to the side real quick. Maybe that's how you guys are feeling. Let's just like organize things. Let's focus on what is going to be our vocal point during this time, you know? That's almost what it seems like. Getting rid of the clutter. Maybe you guys are going through some feng shui, right? But yeah, the work that you've done internally when nobody was looking in the realms of the night are being showcased as the sun emerges. So your trees represent potential for growth and also high aspirations that you're reaching. Heaven represents the ultimate goal or state of enlightenment, and hell represents in order to reach your full potential, you must first face your internal doubts, right? And almost like the negative aspects or the shadow aspects of oneself. So the roots represent adversity, failure, or fear, and they also represent signifies like strength and perseverance, and the foundation for real success. And that's exactly what you guys have done. You've built yourself this solid foundation, this solid new knowing system. I'm hearing you've transcended a belief system, and you're I'm hearing alchemizing this knowing system, okay? And yeah, you've been able to ground yourself into the depths of your life experience and the experiences that you've cultivated through many incarnations, and they've all been leading you up to this moment. So congratulations if you've made it this far. So some fun facts about the Sakura tree is that they never lose their leaves, at least that's how it appears to the outside world, but they're actually going through this constant shedding process, is going through this constant rejuvenation process. And another big message that was coming through is that you're not seeking external validation or acceptance or permission to go through the shedding process of old versions of self, old belief systems that are no longer resonant with your highest possible expression and your soul's highest possible expression. You are a witness to your own growth, and because of that, you're a self-sustaining, self-rejuvenating organism, okay? So you're completely sovereign, and that shows up for you. So yeah, they are evergreen. That's what they're known for. They always appear to have this full canopy, and because of that, again, you definitely provide, I feel like, a safe haven for a lot of souls as well. You guys could definitely be seen as that. You, again, like providing safety, providing some kind of shade, and yeah, being evergreen represents that they retain their leaves all year round, and they go through gradual shedding processes. So yeah, it's a beautiful energy. It shows through many lifetimes, many lifelines, many life forms and parallels and universes. You've cultivated the knowledge of this ancient knowing, okay? It's like you've been able to come back to this ancient knowing. So it's a beautiful energy. Okay, so for you guys, I have the constellation and the Five of Swords reversed that came up. So the constellation shows that you guys are definitely a guiding light. It's what people or souls look at in the sky. And I'm hearing you remind people that, you know, they're not just a human being having like spiritual experiences, and this isn't all just surface layer. It's not just surface layer, and it's not about the things that people see upon the surface. It's about the work that happens in the depth, okay? It's about the work that happens behind the scenes, in the shadows, that really speaks volumes about who somebody is. It's not about the curveballs that get thrown your way, but it's about the way that you've handled these curveballs with such grace that really defines who you are. And I'm hearing it defines how well you know yourself, realizing that you are the one that has thrown yourself the curveballs in an omnipresence kind of way, right? You're in a state of omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence. So yeah, it's about how you can play the best game of life with the cards that you have been dealt with, and also seeing that you've been the one that has dealt yourself these cards, and also understanding why you've dealt yourself these cards, you know, from a higher level. Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. So anyway, with constellation, you guys are definitely this guiding light. And with Five of Swords reversed, you guys, you know, there's certain people, circumstances that you've detached your energy from. This could be your relationship to people, circumstances, things, places, whatever this is that you just haven't seen eye to eye with. Maybe it served a purpose in your life, but it also no longer does, because Five of Swords energy is like a Venus and Aquarius energy. And again, this showed up like reversed, right? So it does show you guys are leading with love, releasing the burden of a grudge on your own heart, and you're realizing that forgiveness does not always require reconnection. So maybe there's certain things that you've realized you don't want to reconnect with. Maybe you've just outgrown, you know, certain things during this time. You're like regrowing or emerging as this new version of yourself. So it's not personal, it is just vibrational. And I feel like people from your past that you've detached from, that once took things super personally, are realizing that again, it was just vibrational in essence, and they can see where you really don't hold a grudge. You know, there is this different level of unconditional love that you do hold, where you're not here to change or impart anything on anyone, but you're only here to change yourself and be a witness to the ways that you've changed. And because of that, you know, people are definitely paying attention to this. It shows that you're not needing to prove who's right or who's wrong, or if there even is a right or wrong. You're just like living your life being you, not living your life like you have something to prove, right? So yeah, it's better to just be you. So let's talk about constellation here. Constellation talks about a magical connection which links the points of your constellation. It talks about terrestrial family, cosmic, signs, people, things that are connected, divine groups forming a whole. So again, this could be about soul family members. Maybe some of you, again, this is soulmates or some kind of like connection that you've had to others. But it does represent messages, right? Maybe you guys have come as a message for people. But it shows groups of guiding stars and landmarks. So since primitive times, constellations have been used for humans as landmarks to help them identify north and south for navigation. They guide us towards the next step and provide us with the information that we know if we are in the right position for where we want to be headed. Constellations, yeah, it's like there's something around you guys have been able to detach from something that was a contradiction to a timeline that you want to enter into, a version of yourself that you wanted to embody that was readily available for you to do so. And it's like you are no longer falling for temptation, falling for like familiar things. And it's just because they're familiar, again, I feel like you're aware that you could be like biochemically wired or addicted to cycles of suffering just because they're familiar. But there's something around what was it, it's better to like kind of like lose yourself or what was familiar, because in the middle of it all you begin to find yourself. You begin to realize that you're not actually lost, you are just being given an opportunity to find a new way. And there's something about you being able to find a new way every time you shed these leaves, and you've just regrown new ones. It's like you've just been realigned to new timelines, realigned to new opportunities. I'm hearing that's where they emerge, and that's where you also emerge as a new version of yourself, because it's a resonant match. Okay, it's like timelines are curated, I'm hearing timelines are curated for you, and customized for you via your own vibrational frequency. And I was seeing like polarity, where this could have been something that you were resistant to at one point in time, but it's now something that you're facing a different kind of level of surrender and ease in regards to you, because you're realizing that change doesn't actually hurt, it's the resistance to change that hurts. And it's like you've been able to gracefully go through these changes and through the ebbs and flows of the natural cycle of evolution, and because of that you've been able to see that change leads to growth, and growth over time leads to evolution. And you've been able to grow through the growing pains. You've been able to grow through the things that you've gone through. And because of that, you are really growing into your full potential. Okay, and that's what others are witnessing. So constellations are natural compasses for human beings and are a way of orienting our soul with the road ahead on planet Earth. So again, you're like a natural compass, and you're also seen as a guide. You could also give people information in regards to the next steps that they need. You could also provide people with information, right? And maybe even remind them that they're at the perfect place at the perfect time. But yeah, with the Five of Swords energy, I do get a strong energy in regards to, it can be about making amends, but there definitely is a strong energy in regards to not taking things personally and extending forgiveness, okay, and realizing that forgiveness does not always require reconnection, okay, and you're leading with love during this time. So let's take a look at this representation. It says desire to reconcile, lingering resentment, and avoiding conflict. So reverse, the birds and the fighters look to avoid conflict. In this card, it reveals, if it's revealed upside down, it shows that you're finding a new approach to a situation with compromise. Be like the butterfly and float on unbothered. So you guys are definitely, you're appearing to be unbothered, okay, with the constellation. It's like you're focusing on being a witness to your own growth in all the ways that you have changed. And unconditional love means that you're not here to change or impart anything on anyone, but you're changing the way that you navigate these experiences. So if you desire to reconcile your differences, you may find forgiveness follows. Don't let lingering resentment ruin something special. And again, it's like you're seeing this special, I'm kind of hearing like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, but with this energy, with the stinging, I feel like this is you guys kind of darting at something during this time. It's like you're becoming really focused like the bee during this time. There could be new situations, or it's like because you're blossoming into your full self as like this energy, it kind of gives me things are cross-pollinating during this time, or there's like pollination. It's like there's pollen that you guys are collecting, there's something potent that you guys are collecting that you're going to make something with. Okay, that's almost the vibe that it gives me too. It kind of reminds you of the milk of land and honey. So it's like you're more focused during this time when it comes to maintaining this state of heaven on earth. And that's done by neutral observation. It's about love is the absence of judgment. You're understanding the part that people have played into the story of your life, but maybe that's all it is, just the part, right? Or the things. Okay, so the other energy we also got was the sidereal space for what you're actually growing, and the 9 of trees. So the 9 of trees is basically this woman that goes on a journey, and with sidereal space, this is about the journey back to your own cosmic origins, where you are an ethereal being, you are your higher self that has incarnated into physical form, and you guys are coming back to that knowing. Again, it's not about a come up, it's about a coming back to you. So what it is that you have been growing is the re-emergence of you being a highly abundant being and cultivating that knowing once again, okay? And releasing everything that you are not, anything that any belief systems that tell you otherwise. So you're belonging to the stars or planets, that's what sidereal means, and what you're growing is your ability to become an outsider that's looking in, to anchor in this otherworldly knowledge, these higher levels of consciousness into this gameplay experience, and no longer just be a being that's merely interacting with this matrix, but you're an outsider that's looking in. So it's almost like you guys have gamma perception. You can see obstacles as they arise, and you know the best way to kind of handle them and dissolve them, okay? And with the 9 of trees, yeah, it does talk about a self-sufficient individual. It talks about a self-sustaining organism, and it's this person that's gone through this major growth sprout, and it's happened and they're emerging as this new version of self because they've had to start all the way from the Ace of Pentacles, where they've had to wipe the slate clean in some aspect of their life. They've had to build a foundation that is going to be built for success, right? For them being able to fully succeed. And they've had to face their fears with the 2 of coins, had to juggle and navigate their way through this new normal. Maybe felt like they were kind of juggling 2 continuums or 2 timelines for a while before being able to fully commit into one way of being or fully commit into a decision, and that altered the trajectory of their life. To a 3 of coins, that led to a level up, right? To a 4 of pentacles, maybe it's like you guys holding something back for yourself, maybe it's the work that you've done behind the scenes. To a 5 of pentacles, realizing that there's certain things that just no longer serve a purpose in your life, and there's more things out there for you to explore, so you follow the calling of the soul's natural call to exploration. To the 6 of coins, where it's like you begin to actually see that the universe does have more for you, right? And you begin to be receptive of that. To the 7 of coins, you begin investing on that call, you follow that call for action, and it may not be instantly gratifying, but you know it's a decision that benefits your future self. To the 8 of coins, you master a talent, gift, skill, or ability. Maybe it's a new way of navigating this world. Maybe it's the gift of present awareness. Maybe it's the gift of mastering this new optimal navigation. To the 9 of coins, where you are self-sufficient and you begin to see this really playing out in your external reality, the internal value that you've cultivated, and knowing that being a witness of how far it is that you've come is true value, and that is now bled into your external reality, right? The change that has happened through you, the value that you see within yourself and your own life experiences is priceless, and you begin to see abundance pour into your external reality as a mirrored reflection of that, because it's as within, so without, right? As above, right? As within the stars and the planets, so below. So let's go ahead and read 9 of Pentacles in this aspect then. So 9 of Pentacles talks about stability, financial independence, luxuries, and reward. So you guys could be racing towards something, right? The 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Trees glisten with luxury. As the Grand Palace fades out, the large tree of the 9 transforms into a woman enjoying the surrounding world. This is a card of great financial independence and reward. You have finally attained a level of stability, and you will be rewarded in kind. Give yourself permission to enjoy the finer things in life. So this is something that you guys are definitely in alignment with here. Again, it's like you've cultivated this super beautiful way of being, okay? So, and that's going to show. It's going to show in like very physical, tangible ways right now. Okay, so the other energy that was coming through, what was the last message that I said? I said, what is the star? I said, what is the star that you guys are following? Yeah. Okay, and then I laughed because binary star came out. So binary star is like you guys, okay? This is the star that you guys are following, and it shows something that it was always on your path. It was something that was always orbiting each other. It talks about things that were always supposed to share the same path. And with infinity, this is about your eternal nature, right? It's like you are not this physical vessel, but you're the timeless consciousness that's navigating this physical vessel temporarily. So it's like you're coming back to your infinite nature. What was always on your path was profound death and rebirth, and that being your greatest moments of transformation, them being your biggest catalysts, okay, to emerge as new versions of yourself. And then you also had golden hour, which is about a spatial or special light. So it's like every time you've gone into the darkness, right, with binary star, right, because on the darkest nights the brightest stars shine, you come back entering your full culmination, right, the star's brightest point in the sky. And in that culmination, you're able to anchor in some kind of special light, right? This talks about light is truth, some kind of special truth about yourself, some kind of special truth about your journey, some kind of special level of awareness that you're anchoring into your being. You know, light is also consciousness that you're anchoring into your being, and you transform, right? It's like you come back transformed each time. You come back completely different, completely unrecognizable. It really does remind me of like you're about to disappear and reappear on the world stage, like completely transformed. And when you go on the world stage, again, your sinus is its own transmission. It really is a microphone drop moment. I'm hearing like so silent you can hear it what do they call it, like a pin drop? That's the vibe that it gives me. It's your growth speaks for itself. The embodiment of your truth speaks for itself. Okay, so you also have the throat chakra that came out, which is all about your authenticity, being able to merge and blend your most multidimensional, sophisticated aspects of self, right? Which is about fluid navigation in this realm, and translate that through the things that you do, through the things that you embody, through the truth that you are, through living according to your divine truth as you roam this earth. So let's go ahead and take a look at the temple of truth here. And again, the temple of truth is within. Your truth is not going to be found in external things, but it's through a way of being. Okay, so when you're brought to this place, you're being reminded of the importance of your identity or self-expression. In this lifetime, acknowledging who you are and who you've been and who you are becoming is so important for the unfoldment of your path. And I'm hearing unrecognizable because people cannot put you in a box when it comes to who they once identified you with. That was a shell that you have long ago broken free from, okay, and emerged as this infinite being, right? Emerge back as your abundant self, okay? That's what I'm seeing. And it's like that point of reference is no more. That point of reference has dissolved. And I'm hearing as you change yourself in the present moment, you also change again your historical timelines. So this is a major point of transmutation, right? It's like Christ consciousness, which is conscious awareness, where you're completely aware of yourself, right? All aspects of yourself, and you hold space for that. There's an old story that the truth hurts. This gateway reminds you that in fact the truth heals. Your truth is your truth, and it's important for you to honor it with every facet of your being. This isn't the first incarnation in which you felt the most importance of honesty and authenticity, but it may be the first in which you had full freedom of expression. Again, no more suppression of your truth, right? No more suppressing who you are. This gateway is coming to you today because there's a message that something buried deep inside of you hasn't been expressed, and this is causing energetic blockages of your ever unfolding path. It's a time to love yourself enough to honor the feelings that are rising up in you. They are divine guidance that will bring you into greater alignment. So there is intercommunication that's happening with you guys, where you are not just sending out transmissions, but you're also downloading and receiving. Right? You know how you have like a transmitter and you have a receptor? That's what it is. It's like you're receiving certain information during this time, and it's from your higher self, and it's within you. It's an octave, right? It's a vibrational frequency that you can attune into at any given moment at will, and you can act on that information that you are receiving. You can act on that information. You're tuned into the source within yourself. You're tuned into the infinite potential that you are made up of. I'm hearing that encompasses you. You are literally, again, stardust wrapped in skin. The light that you've been seeking is within. And there is something around an encapsulation. You encapsulate infinite potential. You are built up from infinite potential. So how do you want to apply that in this realm? There's no more need to quantumly entangle yourself with parasitic belief systems. There's no need to quantumly entangle yourself with thoughts, things, people that are not congruent with your highest possible expression. You can transmute that energy. It's about being able to hold space, understand why that attachment is there, why the resonant experience is there, and again, see life through the eyes of the soul and understand the purpose that it serves, and how you can begin to open yourself up to a new way of being, to a new way of existing, to new things that you want to do, to new things you want to cultivate. But yeah, it's a beautiful energy. Okay, so last energy is the 1717 card, which is about self-reliance. Time has come to rely on your knowledge and your wisdom. Your soul has an important mission, okay, and soul purpose. This talks about leaning on your inner strength will allow more of your path to unfold ahead. Okay, so opening up to a good flow of good blessings. Okay, you also have 333 there at the base, which talks about opening up to your potential. Your chance to reach your highest of potentials is here. Perseverance has gotten you to where you are. You have been through so much, and this guidance is here to show you that you're exactly where you need to be. Okay, I'm gonna love and leave you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. If you want to join the Discord, join the Discord. That's also going to be down below as well. But until next time, bye.